Hello everybody and welcome back. We are live from the Piazza della Feste, Porto Antico, Genova. Today we will crown the winner of the 2024 Senior European Cup of Bouldering. This competition takes place over 2 days. First thing this morning we had the semi-final phase for women, and now we have the top 24 men from yesterday's qualification round who have advanced to today's semi-finals. Once again, I'm joined by Martin Smith from the UK. Martin was a competitor for GB climbing in the bouldering discipline, and now he's a climbing coach based out of Sheffield, England. Welcome, Martin.
Afternoon, James.
So the boulders move from right to left across the wall, with men's one on the extreme right, and we have the first competitor out on the mats now.
So we can see on this boulder, the first boulder, the zone hold is very low, actually. So I'm predicting a tough start on this.
It's effectively your third hold on the boulder, is it?
Yeah, the start position very difficult.
Got that foothold.
Okay.
Yeah, so fourth.
So it's a small undercut. This it has his right hand on. There is a little blocker as well. So it's a positive crimp, but they've made it much smaller by putting put another small screw-on hold in to make it much more difficult to adjust on. So, but he did manage to match that with, similarly, not too many problems.
Yeah, I mean Etienne here's flashed to the zone, so
okay. Yeah, then into a bit of a press section, and then moving left to you can see a couple of screw-on holds above the second blue volume.
Those two that are vertical, like the blue and the red?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, the red one is a crimp. Not in cut, it's flat. It has texture, it's flat, but yeah, it's not a great hold. The wall is overhanging there. And they've put a blocker to the left. Probably so you can't fully get your knuckles up and go full bore on the crimp.
Okay.
But it's okay, yeah. Not a great hole, but and then I'd imagine you go with your right hand again into another press, perhaps. Although from here I'm seeing chalk on the top, so yeah. Let's see how the competitors have read that.
Hoping the competitors are not going to have to sort of turn their bodies and establish themselves on the blue vertical crimp with the right hand.
No, you wouldn't be using the left hand one. No. I
just think it's purely a blocker.
Yeah, I think you just use the left hand. Sorry, the right hand red hold, the crimp, and go to the top from there.
What do we know about Etienne? 20 years old, from Brignais. Definitely not pronouncing that right.
I think this is only his second senior competition. He did the first round of the European Cup earlier in the year, back the end of August. Sorry, end of April. April. Yeah, in Austria. So he gets on his second attempt.
I don't know how he's consumed 3 minutes already. That's flown by.
It has. Yeah, on his second attempt this.
Yeah.
I mean, he must have felt confident on his first go that he could get back to the same position. Just saw a bit of a shot of the next hold.
You can see how aggressive that red crimp is.
Looking better. Okay.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay, let's see where
I think like he ripped off that red crimp a little bit.
Could be. Maybe. Yeah, it could be a tough last move, that.
Yeah.
We'll see. But I think he's calling that time. Just 15 seconds left. He's probably happy to get the zone, realise he's not going to make the top. So
flash the zone, yeah. Yeah, this commentary works a doddle when there's only one competitor on the mat. But our lives are soon to get hectic. Interesting. Just noticed the next athlete stepping out onto the mat. onto the mat representing Australia. And something had led me to believe that it would be only European competitors here. And it was a circuit based on geographic location, but, you know, such as the Six Nations or... But no, we've got an Aussie in the building. Welcome. Welcome to Aiden. See how he gets on with his first move to the zone.
Okay, so he's already had a couple of attempts, and yeah, I thought the start could be quite tricky. Yeah, Etienne made it look quite casual.
Yeah, maybe a little bit taller than this athlete, or maybe he's just a bit more springy, like jumping into that position. I mean, again, we noticed this in the semi-finals for the women, but where there was a boulder which you had to run in or generate some energy through the mats to get established on the boulder, and again, yeah, these mats being very soft, they are taking a lot of spring or energy out of your attempt to get established on this boulder. Ooh, I'm going for a high foot method here. Showing us his Jean-Claude Van Damme impression. Oh, that looks... I mean, managing to jump into a position there quite confidently, but just not sticking the...
Yeah, I think it's actually slightly deceptive on screen how shallow the right handhold is to start.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, that's a better angle. Yeah.
Nice. We've got our videographers in the building from Out There Collective, based in Modena. They're supporting Fazzy with the footage for the competition and the photography. Okay, excellent.
Oh, that's a great shot there.
Yeah,
seeing really that foothold. Yeah, but yeah, struggling to get established on Boulder, as I thought it would be. With the zone hold being so low, I thought it would be a difficult start.
Yeah.
And this is going to be really frustrating for him. The last thing you want is you come out to the first boulder and he's struggling to get established just to get off the floor.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's quite demoralising, I think, mentally.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he's 1 minute 20 left. He's got a little bit of time. He's going to want to make, an impression on this boulder.
Yeah.
More than just the start. Yeah, this must be very frustrating for him. Okay, trying to go much slower this time. So we don't see his left leg, so he'll have to touch he must have touched it. Yeah, okay.
Oh, excellent. Great that he's found a method. But now it's, yeah. Time for one more blast. 30 seconds. Yeah, he's gonna jump on for one last attempt. Come on, Aiden. Yes, nice. 5 seconds.
Okay.
Yeah, he knows it's not enough, and he's just dropped off there.
It's not come up on the score sheet yet, but he should receive the zone hold for that. Maybe don't quote me on that. Okay, yeah. So zone on seventh attempt there. Okay, next out, first of the British athletes is Rhys Conlon. Rhys only 17 years old.
So it looks like he competed in the previous round of this competition in Austria. He placed 40th.
Yeah, so this is his first semi-final as a senior competitor.
Then we're going to get the first glimpse of men's 2. This young man's flashed the start.
Yeah, again, an early zone.
Yeah, absolutely.
So certainly from the screen, it's difficult to see where you might hold the starting hole. So
Absolutely, they're kind of camouflaged, aren't they?
They are. There are small divots in various sections. So let's see when Etienne pulls on again. So that the bottom right handhold is very poor. It has just a dimple of a hold. It's a bit of a thimble for one finger, probably. A small amount of texture around where you would put the finger on this dimple, and then apart from that, the rest of the hold is just very slippy.
Yeah.
So the dual text. So it's very poor, the start right hand hold.
Yeah.
In fact, I took some pictures on my phone so I could reference them.
Yeah, they're sort of, I remember it being about a pad in depth, and maybe if you've got slender fingers, you might get a couple of fingers in the dimple, but it's maybe not. Yeah,
it's really poor.
No, it's just a reviewing the image.
Yeah, it's like a coin's worth of texture.
Yeah.
With a small dimple for one finger.
But the left-hand edge, the left-hand starting edge is I would say, I mean, especially for these athletes, is a jug. I mean, I'm not going to do a one-arm pull-up on it, but I'm sure there's a lot of these that could.
Absolutely.
So
at least one.
But you sort of need that right-hand starting hold to sort of establish the tension through the feet and to generate the movement up to the zone.
Yeah.
I mean,
just dangling.
Yeah, it just shows there, doesn't it? With his methodology, he holds it, drops it off.
Yeah, we're getting a better picture here. Yeah. Okay, so that's he's doing well there.
Nice.
Squeeze that heel in. Okay, and the right foot hold that he kicked out to is kind of half and half. Half has texture, and half of it is really smooth. As well, looking at the holds direct, straight on, I would say the texture starts from around 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
And then all the way to the right is texture. And it's really good texture, actually. It's quite rough.
Okay.
It's quite coarse. If you get your enough boot rub on there, it will slow you down. Your foot is going to stop on there. Where the left side is a no-go.
Yeah, we've seen some athletes, forced to try and use smooth parts of dual texture holds, especially for the feet, and it obviously, it works for some and doesn't work for others. So it depends on a lot of factors, really, like the angle of the wall and the angle of the hold, and how much pressure you're trying to put through the hold. But it does add an element to the competition, and it's something for the route setters to play with.
Yeah, that's right. It's new toys for the boys, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's another way to challenge the competitors.
Yeah.
Always looking to, make new innovations and challenge them in a different way.
Absolutely, yeah. I think we're about to get the first glimpse of men's 3. Or is that a little bit premature?
Yeah, a bit premature there, James.
Excuse me. It's not like me. Where's okay, so we have the first British athlete out on the mats.
Second, we've got James Jenkins. We've just had Reese.
All right. I'll just make my third mistake and get out of the way with the right away. It's raining. No,
it's our first rodeo.
We are in the beautiful location on a wharf jutting out into the harbour in Genova. And the sun is peeking through. There's a bit of a breeze. It's not particularly warm, 22 degrees. 50% humidity, so sort of dry-ish conditions, I'd say. Honestly can't believe how dry it is for a seaside location. Kind of conditions that you'd be pretty happy with on rock. But today these guys and girls are fighting with PU, fiberglass and plywood.
Classic arm shakes of the climbers there.
Yeah, he's really using his body to, illustrate the sequence before he pulls on, isn't he?
They were almost
the Australian athlete.
Almost in sync with their arm swinging there. Okay.
Ah,
Okay,
I mean, he
James.
floated through that move. Oh, excellent. I fancy his chances at that. He's got a couple of minutes left.
James.
Yeah, it looked like he got the timing on those moves really, really down.
See if we can get a shot of this. Ah, okay, you can see there on the right-hand side of the hold, yeah, that it's slightly blocked. So
Wow.
really, whoa.
A lot of stress on the fingers there.
Yeah, really in a room for kind of 2 fingers almost.
Yeah.
He's seems to have his left hand taped as well.
Okay.
Across the palm of the hand, unusual.
Maybe a bit of a skin damage from a larger hold.
Could be skin.
Oh, wow.
Maybe a bit of a lumbrical problem.
Yeah. I know a man who could tell us about that.
Yeah.
I have a great reference for finger injuries out there. The climbing physio on Instagram. Puffy, if you're listening, I'm sure he'd be able to educate us on about what he might be taping for there. 1 minute left for these competitors. I fancy Aidan's chances on this go. 45 seconds left. Look at that. Yeah. Yeah, that looked good. That looked really close. I mean, honestly, the route set has been a bit cruel with the rotation of that volume that they have to land with the right foot. I mean, there's
it's a big rotation, isn't it?
Yeah, there's
the
a lot
left
of
hip drops a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot of the smooth texture exposed to where you might want to land your foot. So you've got to, you really need to be looking at that foot as you land it and almost intuitively catching the right hand.
I must admit, when you are close up to those holes, it is relatively easy to see where the texture is.
Yeah.
There's a definite difference.
Yeah.
Maybe looking at it on the screen.
Yeah, our screen, I mean, we've got a fair amount of sunlight coming into this venue because we are just covered by a PVC tarpaulin, let's say, with some structure. So there's a lot of natural light. So forgive us if that's really obvious. Now we have the first Italian male competitor entering the building. Simone. So Simone trains out of Crazy Center in Prato, which is near Florence, Firenze. And he has the luxury of having a gym that is very much orchestrated or arranged towards competition climbing. So Crazy Center is a bouldering center full of competition-style boulders. So as an athlete, if you were based in Prato and you had the luxury of training at that gym, yeah, you'd be at an advantage, I think, because most gyms try to strike a balance between commercial climbing and competition climbing. And now James has found, Reese, sorry, has found a toe hook there for the start move. So he's done that in quite a stable way.
Yeah, I think he wouldn't have been able to reach off the heel as a slightly smaller athlete.
Okay.
I mean, from a distance, he's got a bit of a Dave Barron's look, hasn't he?
Yeah, he does look like a young Dave Barron's. Yeah, Dave Barron's was a competitor for Team GB. Excuse us, but being two Brits, we have more insight into Team GB than we do some of the other nations. Although Martin has actually competed alongside some international athletes that are here today, so we can give some more insight into that. So we're just seeing Etienne get really high on that third boulder for men. The Morpho violet volumes and these black crimps from Unit in the Netherlands.
Yeah, he's able to give his leg very straight on that toe hook, isn't he? So, to create the tension.
Nice. Oh, that was very close.
Yeah, that was close. Simone struggling on the start of Boulder 1. Really hard to get established.
I've watched Simone in the Coppa Italia rounds this year past, and he's a powerful climber and quite talented. I fancy his chances in this competition. He has a minute left.
Okay, the French competitors pulling back on. Those two start holds they're pretty good. You know, flat.
Yeah, if you
crimps.
catch them at the same time in compression, yeah.
I mean, the start holds are pretty good.
Ah, the two start holds.
Yeah, they're good texture.
Yeah.
There's some, you know, these crimps you're using that they're small but they're positive.
Yeah.
Still, but it's a steep angle.
Yeah.
But he's doing well here.
I think this
come on, Etienne.
This is tough. Yeah, watch the resetters putting this one up actually. Men's 3. And that top hold from Morpho is really at full stretch. I think you have to do something.
Yeah, what's the texture like on that top hold?
So the texture's good. The texture's really good. Yeah, they're new volumes. They have an excellent texture.
Rough. The only reason I ask is that from the angle that Etienne was going up with his left hand there.
Yeah.
It looks like a poor hole. Like from the ground, it looks very slopey.
No,
he's coming in from the right angle, but there's quite a bit of texture on.
Yeah, there's good texture. So even as a sloper, let's say, you've got a strong chance of sticking the hold. Yeah.
Yeah. Because you're going to have to match that hold as well. I think that could be potentially even just matching could be quite tough. We'll see.
The top hold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think matching could be quite tough.
Yeah, I agree. You're left with feet that are very far to the right.
Yeah, I suppose maybe a heel on the purple hole next to the zone.
Sure.
We'll see though. There's lots of competitors to go. Yeah. And here's one of them from Australia.
Yeah.
Randomly.
So 3 minutes on the clock.
Ah, interesting message from James there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he went in toe hook. Well,
yeah,
our audience can see he got a toe hook on the hold he's on now and brought his hand up. That was excellent.
Yeah, this is the same method as the previous British athlete, no?
No. But he's the first.
He has made it from the zone to that far right volume with relative ease. Okay.
One hand on the last hold.
Oh, nice.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that was really good.
Okay.
I mean, honestly, we've got these two blue holds that are blocking the foothold that he's using with his left, so it leaves as little room as possible, or leaves very little room, let's say, for him to match his feet or bring his right foot to his left. So perhaps he's going to have to use something else, like one of the volumes on the right-hand side, to control himself with a heel or with a toe to make the match, place both hands on the top hold.
Okay, so the replay did show there how he made the move from the zone hold to the next hold, but I think hopefully we are going to see that again, because there's plenty of time left, so should probably having to give himself a good rest here.
Now we've got Aidan fighting on men's 3, but it's just dropped.
Lucas from the Czech Republic on Boulder 1.
Oh, nice. He's matched that fairly easily.
He's looking good.
Oh, confident.
Yes.
Really confident finish there.
Okay.
nice one, Lucas.
Yeah. So that's our first top. First top of the men's semi-final.
Now back with James on men's 2.
Lucas from the Czech Republic, only 16. Impressive top.
See if James has decided on the way to close this boulder.
Did he have his chalk bag on his last attempt?
He's carrying a chalk bag with him.
Did he have that on his last attempt?
Obviously feels like that. Maybe that last hold does not have much chalk, and which will affect the friction. He's already had a feel of it on his previous go, so he's tried that drop down method. Obviously the top hold there is perfectly vertical, and it obviously looks pretty poor because James is strong on the rest of those holds. But yeah, really hesitant on finishing that boulder. Don't know if those volumes are deep enough for a jam. I didn't see any jamming in the testing of the boulders.
No, I think it's, unless you had unusually large hands. I think it's maybe a little bit too flared and a little bit too wide.
Yeah, I can't judge that from here, but right. We have Quito Martini from France stepping out onto the mat's 3rd attempt, boulder number 1. And we're going to get some action on boulder 4 as well from the first athlete from France.
Yeah, Quito Martini from France, only 17. He's actually the current French champion.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Is that? I wonder if that's French championships based on one competition, or is it a circuit?
I'm not sure on that. But he had to beat some tough competition. I think the second place at that the competition I saw was Michael Mowen.
Okay.
And in third was Meiji. So really strong field that Quito managed to beat there. And already Quito looking good on Boulder.
Yeah,
just as
foot slip. Yeah, foot slip.
Just as spoke.
I mean, that didn't seem anything other than chance, did it really? His climbing looked good. I feel like if he gets on, he can become stable in that position again and move on to the top of the boulder. Let's see. Okay, so over to men's 4. We've got Etienne. He's not managed a top on the first 3 boulders. It'd be great to see him close his comp with a top. Oh, he's managed to control himself using the wall there, just the change in angle of the wall, just palming it to control his weight. And he's had a good dynamic go at that move, but yeah, just fell short. We've got Simone on men's 2. Oh, the Italian athlete crosses through. So from the zone on men's 2, he crossed through, just powered through, left, right, to land the far right black volume. And now we're back with Reese on men's 3, and he's just short on that.
Okay, we're back with Quito on boulder 1. This is looking good for Quito.
Oh, wow, Simone just having a second go on that move. Wow, a couple of dramatic drops there. 50 seconds left. Could be enough time for one of these athletes to close their boulders. Men's 4 on the extreme left. Etienne managing to make it to the zone again. Let's see if he can get his body a bit higher into this one. Oh, he's managed to gain the opposing hold and maintain his weight. And now into a toe hook. Wow, this is an incredibly physical position, that. With no footholds below those volumes to support your weight, so purely shoulders strength. I'm honestly not sure what the knowledge would be there to gain some height, maybe a right toe. Yeah, let's see what the other competitors do. Here's just a quick replay of Quito's attempt at the top.
It's been a really well set boulders, I feel, in the women's semi-final and this round so far. There's been a lot of drops from the last move of the boulders, the women and the men, which is it's really tough from a competitor's point of view. Because you're doing more climbing, but you're not getting the full points. You're just getting the zone, and every time you get back on, it's you're going to take the ride from the top again, and losing a lot of energy.
Yeah, you're effectively climbing 95% of the boulder every time you make an attempt, and not really being rewarded as such.
Yeah,
I guess that's why the Olympic format's an interesting one, because you get rewarded in different sections. Yeah, different scoring system. I'm definitely more familiar with this scoring system though, with the single zone on the top. So we momentarily had 4 athletes on the wall, now we're just down to 2. Got the British athlete on the right on men's 3. He's now trying some quite extreme knowledge, relying on that left toe. He's managed to make it work up to that point, but then, incredibly hard to generate the force to get up to that penultimate violet morpho volume.
Yeah, that top section looks very difficult. So the Etienne had his right hand on the final crimp on Boulder 3, didn't he? And sorry, no. Did he have his right hand on the zone and try to go all the way up to the penultimate hold? I think he did. That's what he did manage in the end. I think he was probably a taller athlete.
Yeah.
I think the route setters envisaged that you would go up to the next crimp with your left hand.
Okay.
But, anyway, let's focus on the Czech athlete.
Men's 2.
Lucas from the Czech Republic currently in first place with the sole top of the round so far.
Yeah, he looked good going to that final hold on the first boulder. Yeah, it was a confident finish to that boulder. Now we've got an attempt with some different beta, and I quite like this.
This
looks more promising, doesn't it? Yeah. Still not enough though.
Yeah, the first sloper, James, the first purple hold on that boulder.
Yes.
They're putting their left heel on that. I didn't get a good look at that hold. How deep is that hold? Okay, we got a picture.
Yeah.
Seems like you would need to create a lot of tension on that hold with your heel.
Yeah. You've got a bit of a scoop, sort of low and left. So perhaps we'll catch a glimpse of it in the live stream in due course. But there is a bit of a scoop there. I'd be more confident on that heel than some of the heels we saw in the women's semi-finals. There's one in particular I'm thinking of that was poor on that yellow boulder.
Yes.
The athletes trying to place their right heel high, and it just not being enough shape to the hold for them to really use it in a good way. Look, his heel's staying.
Yeah.
He's managing to power up.
Pulling hard on the hamstring. Here we go.
Oh. Incredible.
Yes.
Incredible. Excellent. Top to that.
Brilliant.
Really
James,
good.
the first top of Boulder 3. And only the second top so far.
Yeah, those early attempts didn't look that good. He's really worked that out on the fly, let's say. Within the 4-minute time, changes beta.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah, excellent.
He only had about 10 seconds to go.
Nice.
Brilliant. Yeah, and actually the match wasn't that bad, was it? Yeah, no. Feet low, clamping the two holds.
Yeah.
No problem. Yeah, so that's pushed James up to first place.
Nice.
Early days though.
yeah, 24 athletes to come out. You know, it's bigger than a World Cup field for semi-finals. Yes. You know, which is typically 20. So yeah, should be fairly heated, the competition, I suppose. So we've got Simone back out, young man from Prato, or at least training out of Prato on men's 3. And then we have, I believe is that Etienne? Oh no, Quito. Quito from France on men's 2. And then we can welcome
Dragos from Romania.
Our Romanian athlete. Simona going really well. Managing to match the zone hold there, and wow, really confident here. Can you make it? Oh, fantastic, fantastic climbing for Simone. I mean, he powered his way through that. Excellent.
Yeah, and just his second attempt. That was a great time.
Brilliant. And now Quito's caught the right-hand black volume on men's 2.
Oh, he's made that look.
Honestly, wow, making use of that low left foothold. So very poor, you know, textured dimple zone hold, and for whatever reason, that was a better body position for him. Maybe his left leg was completely extended out underneath him. And so, yeah, he made that finish to that boulder look a lot easier than we've seen other competitors.
Yeah, so we've only seen the British athlete up at that position. But yeah, that lower left foot on the zone hold looked much better positioned, didn't it?
Worked brilliantly.
Yeah, I mean, he did that top section with relative ease.
Yep. Now we're just left with 2 athletes out on the mats. Dragos on men's 1. One minute remaining. And Reese has managed to explode up into that position in the groove above the black volume on men's 4. Having to stay really close to the wall there to avoid coming off. Wow, really applying some force there to stay on.
Yeah, you can see his body shaking just to stay in that position.
Yeah. And then he adapted the angle of his left foot really well. Like managed to turn on the toe without his foot coming off. Got his ankle well aligned to make the jump out right, but yeah, just couldn't get the distance. He's going to try and make time for one more go, but no, unfortunately not. 10 seconds are left on the clock, and I think both these athletes are going to head backstage. Just a replay of Simone's doing really well to get that toe hook back in to make the finish.
Yes, yeah, I thought for a moment he might have blown it. His foot came off, and then his feet started shaking a little bit, and I thought he'd blown it for a moment, but he did really well to recover.
Yeah.
Get his feet back on and secure that top.
Yeah.
Bravo.
I find that actually when you're on a boulder and you move higher, you know, from a secure position to a new position, re-establishing yourself on something that you were just on, and you only feel like you've moved a few centimeters higher, and that hold should be within reach, but sometimes it can just be too much. So yeah, I take my hat off to him there, managing to get that toe back in. Now we have a member of the Austrian team out on the mats. Julia Ausberg.
On problem 2, and on problem 1 we have Andreas, also from Austria.
good crowd here today. You know, I thought there was a chance. Well, I mean, it's done a very good job of attracting people who are climbers and non-climbers to the event due to the location here on this wharf that juts out into the quay here in Genova. Really central location.
Yeah, it's a fantastic venue. Certainly beats the Birmingham NEC.
It's been a while since I watched a climbing comp there. I'm sure I watched Malcolm Smith and Steve McClure compete. Malcolm in Boulder and Steve McClure in lead at the Birmingham NEC.
Malcolm did quite a number of the comps in Italy.
Ah.
So, yeah, he was a big name out here.
Yeah, he's a bit of a reference for Italian climbing, isn't he? Like in the competition circuit, yeah, for sure. Reference for strength.
Yeah, so many of the World Cup rounds in that period were in Italy. There was Lecco, Rovereto, Bardonecchia, Vieira di Primero. Yeah. There's a real appetite for them in Italy back then. So it's good to see more international competitions back on Italian soil.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, I'm based in Italy now, and Bressanone has hosted 2 World Cups in the last couple of years, and they have been incredibly impressive competitions.
Yeah, there's a real pedigree as well in Italian climbing. In fact, the first overall World Cup winner in the men's category was Christian Corre back in 1999.
Okay.
And the first world champion in 2001 was Mr. E9 himself, Mardo Calibani. Bit of history there for anyone younger listening.
No, absolutely. I find that really interesting.
So
those early comps in the early 2000s, I've looked back at the results of those and the images. You know, the style of the climbing is obviously very different. The structures are very different. But yeah, maybe, I don't know, in a way, feel like some of that sort of climbing translated to rock quite well, and athletes who are just rock climbers powerful rock climbers could, you know, translate to that competition style, but it has changed a lot.
It has, yeah. Just a different style now, but
absolutely.
I must say, I feel this comp, there's a really good mix.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes you look at a modern climbing competition and you barely see a crimp in sight, and there's a really good mix on here. Of, of everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying the setting.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, bravo. Hats off to the setting team. So we've got Yao from Portugal, head route setter. Well, the chief of this competition, head route setter in the climbing district in France. We've got a gentleman by the name of Joris, who's French and is fortunate enough to live in the forest of Fontainebleau.
Unbelievable.
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 Yeah, we're both very jealous of that. And then Gabriele Maroni, who's based in Milan, and he is the chief route setter at Urban Wall in Milan. Luca Camani, who's the route setter at New Rock in Brescia, and Orobia climbing in Bergamo. 2 fantastic gyms. And then finally we've got Simone Zappino, who's a setter in Torino, and he's the chief route setter at Big Up, which is only about 2 hours from here, so it's quite a local competition for him. And then we have Davide Bassotto, who's also based out of Torino, and if you check out his Instagram, he has climbed some fantastic stuff on rock, but he also makes time to set some incredible boulders as well in the Torino and the Milano areas.
Okay, we do have on boulder number 1, we have our first German athlete in the semi-final, Emil Zimmermann.
Now, judging by the sort of powerful nature of the climbing in boulder number 3, I fancy Simone's chances on men's 4 if he can get through the start. But right now, we are checking out Romanian athlete on men's 2. So Quito's managed to match the zone, power through to the top volumes, and he's made that top look easy as well. Bravo. Now we're back to Simone on men's 4.
Quito are first athlete to have 2 tops. Puts him to the top of the leaderboard for the time being.
Nice. So we have Quito Martini in first, James Jenkins in second, and Lucas Mortolowski in third. But a lot can change, don't we just know it? This German athlete coming out and finishing that boulder with some style. Excellent. One minute and counting. Simone's just found his way onto this black volume with 1 foot, trying to get his body up into that corner. Wow, yeah, not spending any time there, just didn't look that secure, so just decided to explode out of that position immediately, which is probably not a bad call if you're feeling a bit insecure in that position. But the other athletes have managed to sort of stand in the corner and compose themselves before trying to work their way around onto the front of the wall, the more overhanging section.
Surprised at the Romanian athlete pulling on there. He'd already secured the zone hold and there was little chance of him making the top.
Yeah, does another attempt deduct from him? I presume it does.
No.
No?
No, he'd already secured the zone, so...
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, the only thing it's deducting is the skin on his fingertips.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, that's worth bearing in mind, because if you do progress to finals, you know...
And just for the next problem, to save yourself a little bit of energy. There was only 10 seconds.
Yeah, true.
Okay.
Yeah, anyone who progresses to the finals this evening, it will be 8 guys and 8 girls progressing to the finals this evening. So they will have, by that point, they will have done a lot of climbing, and you've only got so much skin to spare. So some tactics do come into it, attempts, whether they're worth taking them if you feel close to a boulder or not.
Yeah, I think it's worth mentioning when we were chatting to the head route setter. We were talking about the texture of the wall.
Yes.
The texture of the wall is actually quite rough. When you, especially on the crimp holes, when you go to grab the crimp, and obviously anyone knows, as your fingers come down on the hold, your fingers every time it's on those tips as it rolls down the wall into the crimp position. That's tough on the skin.
No, yeah, you almost lose more skin on the wall than you do on the holds.
Yeah,
I have a training board at home in a dark grey sort of paint colour, and honestly, with freshly chalked fingertips, you can see where your fingers strike the wall as you come down onto the hold, and there's typically maybe 2 centimetres above the hold, so you're striking the wall. You know, you feel you've hit the hold directly. Yes. You've actually struck the wall above it, and your fingertips have dragged down the surface of the wall and onto the hold. Yeah. And it's illustrated really well by that. And and my wall at home's smooth, but obviously this has an aggressive texture, so yeah, you are losing skin on that every time. Yeah,
unless you're coming at the hold, in control very slowly, and even then there's going to be a bit of, as you get your your fingernails really rat up on the crimp.
Yeah,
it's
absolutely
not going to do great things to your fingertips.
Yeah, I never really understand textured training walls, like training boards. Doesn't make sense. Right, back on men's 3. All the focus on this Austrian athlete, Ilya. Looking strong on that move. Managed to intuitively switch that heel to a toe without really looking like he focused on it. Clamp the feet, brilliant. Yeah, that was confident climbing.
That's topped on his third attempt.
So we're left with 3 athletes on the mats. We're just going to get a brief replay of the Ilya climbing this boulder. That's a great angle. You can see that morpho volume and how positive the heel is. Obviously left some boot rubber there when he slipped from the heel to the toe, but it doesn't matter to him. He's topped the boulder. That's awesome. So now we've got 30 seconds left. You can see the clock at the top left of your screen. This place is really coming alive with the progress from this Austrian athlete. Fantastic. Another top there. Just as the period comes to an end.
Okay, next rotation.
So we have Michael O'Neill from Ireland stepping out onto the mats to attempt men's 1. Getting stuck in with these Climb Lab brushes, giving everything a good clean before. Sensible approach. Obviously we've had quite a few athletes go through these boulders now, so anyone stepping out onto the mats wants to give these boulders a good brush to remove any excess chalk, give themselves a better chance of making good progress on their first attempt. Now have this Romanian athlete on men's 3. Now he's trying that cross-through method. I'm not a fan of that. I just don't think that can work. That volume is so poor in that direction. It seems like it's only there to oppose the finish of the boulder. You know, trying to pull down on that is poor.
Emil making this boulder number 2 look very easy so far.
Another climber taking his chalk bag. These guys did assess the boulders at the start together, did they not?
Yes.
So there was that observation period.
That's right.
Of 6 minutes or so.
Yeah, 8 minutes for the 4 boulders.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, he spotted the undercut like Tito did. Tito.
Nice.
Yeah, casual.
Yeah, wow.
He was all over that boulder.
Yeah. Yeah, so I wonder if that's been a conversation between them. Like, take a chalk bag on this one. The top hold's particularly poor. It's not been chalked by the route setters.
Yeah, it's a great start for Emil. I mean, that was a flash on boulder 2 there, and he dispatched the first boulder second attempt.
I mean, we could be seeing some of the mainstays of the national teams in years to come here. You know, we've got quite a young field in this competition, but you can imagine with the way in which they're climbing already that these young men and women could be mainstays on the World Cup circuit. So, just under a minute and a half left. Is it enough for one of these guys to top? Yeah, it seems quite blind coming around that corner. You know, those holds are obscured from view when you're committed into that groove.
Yeah.
And then we saw one of the athletes apply a very physical approach and manage to rotate on the foothold and get his body round the corner before making the jump, but that does seem extremely physical.
Still seen most competitors struggle with just the establishing on Boulder 1.
Yep.
Really tough start.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow. French athletes made it work. And he's come across in a very stable manner.
This is looking
great.
great.
He looks solid.
That's a positive, Krim.
Yeah. Wow, that was
Fantastic.
awesome.
Wow. Yeah, I wonder if the route setters looked at that. I mean, he just went direct.
Yeah, that
was incredible.
Yeah. Hopefully we can see a replay of that.
Here we go. Brilliant.
Incredible. So not wasting any time getting into the black volume, just dynoing straight out into the wall. And then putting in a knee bar for some stability in the middle of that move, getting established on the crimp easily.
Yeah.
And then cutting the knee bar and finishing the boulder. That very understated grin there. I'm pretty sure he's happy with that.
Yeah, that's just really good sort of climbing brain there to, he'd already had a few goes, hadn't he?
Absolutely, he'd had I don't know, maybe 4 goes on the slab method.
Okay, yeah, so he topped it on his 6th attempt.
Wow, incredible.
So that's really good sort of climbing brain to be able to step away. He's looked at an alternative method. I think in the moment to do that shows real maturity.
Yeah.
That was fantastic.
He's covered 50% of the wall in one move there.
The start hole is a huge jug.
Yeah, but you are risking your shins, aren't you, there?
That's a long way. I mean, just looking at the Austrian athlete on it now, it's like, my God, that is a long way.
Yeah. And we have Tuukka Simonen from Finland on men's 2, just assessing the boulder, taking a good look at those holds, seeing exactly where he might want to hit them on his next attempt.
And out on his first boulder, German climber Tim Werthner.
So you can see the results on our screens, but I'm not seeing a result for the 4th boulder there. Okay, so on the far left of your screens, we're just zooming in to look at men's 4. Wonder if anyone else will try that dynamic method on men's 4, if anyone else will spot it.
Yeah, it's really deceptive from the screen, even from where we're sat here in the crowd. When you stood on the black volume, making it round that corner, it looks like it should be straightforward, but it really isn't.
You can see him straining to see, trying to work out what height he's at.
Yeah, then when you go for the move outright, your hips and your legs are swinging around so much that when you grab the opposing hold, your hips are a long way from the wall. All the momentum is going away from the wall, and that's why it's so hard to hold that position.
Yeah.
It's a killer on your shoulders.
Absolutely, shoulders, centre of the back.
Yeah. A move for young people, I would say.
Yeah, we'll stick to the commentary booth. Right, just spinning off there. Yeah, we've got little time left there. Sometimes you just want to finish the boulder, don't you? It's not about the competition. It's like, I like this set of moves. I know I can do this. It's a challenge. It's in front of me. Let me at it. I'm sure there's many people who walk away from competitions with a boulder in their mind that they didn't finish, that they would like to put back up on the wall so that they can prove to themselves.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
Or just enjoy the process of working it out. So we have another Austrian athlete stepping out onto the mats now.
Julian Wimmer. Yeah, there's real great depth in the Austrian team. I think for years, in my mind, I always think of the Austrian team and the French team just having great depth.
Yeah. I see Killian and Anna as being the sort of flag bearers for the team, you know.
Yeah.
I remember watching them. We're seeing another top there on men's 3.
Yeah. Emil from Germany having a blind of a round. That's his 3rd top and 2nd flash. He's on fire.
Yeah, looking forward to seeing him on men's 4. But right now we're back on men's 1. Julian looking for a top. Yeah. Plenty of time left on the clock there. So these athletes are coming out in reverse order. So those who qualified first are coming out last.
Yeah, theoretically, the better athletes may be coming out later, but that's not necessarily the case.
No.
Depending how the qualification went, we saw that in the women's semi-final.
Absolutely.
With Anna Bollius from Austria.
Yeah.
Qualifying in 20th and finishing semi-final in 1st place.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's
they're all very good athletes.
Yeah, with the variety of the boulders and the variety of the strengths and weaknesses in the athletes, you know, anything could happen really.
Yeah, I feel with lead climbing, there's perhaps a bit more consistency with results and who you might see, you know, in the top 10, 20.
Yeah.
Where I feel with the bouldering, it's there's so many more things going on depending on if the climb suit you or don't. I think it's very hard to be consistent in a bouldering competitions. At the moment we have Dragas from Romania on Boulder 4. But that's time.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, strap yourselves in. We've got another Italian athlete entering the building. Davide Colombo. Welcome. Perhaps you can even hear in the background the warm reception from Simone Reina. Most probably a lot of friends and family in the building for this young man. Getting to see him compete on home turf. We've got the German athlete in the centre of the wall on men's 2. Really climbing through those moves rather than dynoing through them, you know. Made his way out to the previous black volume, you know, through getting through tension through the feet.
Yeah, interesting. So he tried a similar method there to the British athlete who put his left foot on the higher hold, on the black, is it morpho hold, flat hold? And that didn't work for the British athlete.
Okay.
When we saw Keto,
is he a bit too stretched out?
And Emil both used the left foot on the zone hold.
Ah, that's true.
And that seemed to put them in a much more comfortable position. I feel like, yeah, it wants to be there. The black hole is a little bit too high.
So back with Davide on men's 1. He's got the zone. He's just going to try and transfer his weight over left now. And sort of using that crimp.
Oh, horrible position his right hand is in.
Yeah. Sort of like an undercut, shoulder, Gaston combination. You know, so elbow vertically upwards and pulling vertically upwards through the hold.
I don't think my arm goes in that position.
No, I mean you need a lot of shoulder flexibility to get into that position and use it in an effective way. As you get older as a climber, your shoulders seem to close up, and I can't recommend stretching enough. Yeah, but yeah, these teams will know that with experienced people behind each national federation, and I've seen a lot of athletes employing some excellent warm-up and stretching methods to prepare for competitions and to stay in good condition, because it is quite a hard sport on your body.
No, very much so. And we can see that just in the age of the competitors. You know, where years gone by, you could compete at this level to, I don't know, maybe early 30s, something like that.
Yeah.
Whereas now, it seems to be all teenagers or, early 20s.
Yeah.
I think in the female category, semi-final earlier, the oldest competitor was 24.
Wow. Davide just, struggling there. I feel like he might need to adjust his hand on that zone hold in a way that will allow him to move up and left in a better way. But I mean, he's getting to attempt this start multiple times. Like he's managed to get that dialed in. So let's just see if he adjusts something on this attempt. He's only got just under 30 seconds left.
Okay, so he's gone for the lower foot this time. No opting for the higher foot.
I'm focusing on the local boy, but we're back actually on men's 2.
Okay. Yeah, so the other two competitors at the top of this boulder, they both moved their left hand to the high of the 2 blue holes, didn't they?
As an undercut.
Yes, yeah, as an undercut.
So Davide here on men's 1 is just going to be out of time. He looked good on that last attempt, actually, so that's unfortunate. He's been just run out of time. And now we have the second male Italian athlete entering the building. As my voice is completely obscured from your ears by the MC here in the building, who's given a massive warm welcome to Niccolò Salvatore, who steps out on men's 1. This young man's excellent. I've watched him climb. 20 years of age, and he's got quite a good spectrum of competitions under his belt.
Yeah, just 20 years of age. Niccolò competed in both the European events this year. Back in Austria, finished 8th. At the European Championships, he was 33rd. Michael O'Neill here on. Looking good. Michael looking quite casual on this boulder. Can he work it out though?
He's tried the match on that penultimate volume, and although the texture's good on those, yeah, that one's particularly slopey and is in the steeper part of the wall. So
that was interesting. His body language was suggesting he was very comfortable, wasn't he? He looked very composed. There was no shaking, and he was kind of looking around, didn't look hurried. Nicolo keeping with the trend of, unfortunately, of struggling with the start on this Boulder 1.
So back on men's 4. So the last boulder.
Yeah, for Emil.
On the right-hand side of the screen, Nicolo's made it. And he is making that match on that undercut hold, which allows him to move up and left in a quite a controlled manner there.
Wow, if you look at Emil, left of your screen, that was fantastic. He made the move around the corner static, and yeah, we're in for a top. Wow.
Emil's powered his way through that.
4 boulders, 4 tops.
Incredible amount of pressure on that athlete there with the MC belling at him in Italian, but he did extremely well to get into that position on the wall. Made the match on the zone, yeah, and climbed well up until that point. But it's obviously quite a hard position to explode out of. And then we're just seeing a replay of a German athlete finish his competition with 4 tops. I wonder if I presume the route setters will be watching this and sort of judging the difficulty of these boulders and judging how well the athletes do on it. So as they do progress to the finals, they might make some adjustments. No, Irish athlete just out of time there. Again, looks solid, you know, on the upper section of that boulder, but yeah, just not finding the way to generate the momentum to the last hold.
Yeah.
Now we have the next athletes out on the mat. Antoine Girard from France, stepping out for men's 1. And just pulling on. Davide Colombo's back out on men's 2, just to the left of your screen, and Antoine is getting himself established on the first boulder. Now we have some good action on men's 3 here. This looks strong. Finishing with the toe hook to control it. Nice. Well, the German team having some good success in this men's semi-final. Davide Colombo spanning from the zone to this black volume that's blocked by the 2 blue pill holds. Yeah, really stable through that middle section, bridging out between the 2 sort of camouflage volumes. And putting in an early heel. Yeah, this is very different, sort of riding his body rightwards, and he needs to move left. Yeah, that heel is sort of false economy, really, because it's a nice position to cut on the wall, you know, probably taking a bit of load through that heel, but you need to move left. And obviously he needs something underneath him on the left-hand side as he makes his way to the top hold with the left hand.
He's got plenty of time left, though. It's 1 minute 50 on the clock, so I think he'll give it a brush, have a good rest.
Yeah.
And hopefully we'll see a top.
Just going to check on David's climbing history, because I'm pretty sure that he travelled out to Salt Lake for one of the Boulder World Cups. Okay, so Brixton 2023, Briançon 2023, European Cup. Oh, so he did the European Cup back in April in Austria, and then he climbed in Villars in the European Championships in September. And his last competition was the World Cup in Coppa in September. I mean, it's a really spanned method, this. I mean, between the better holds on the wall, you know, not relying on the zone too much. But you need a certain wingspan to achieve that. See if he uses that heel again, or no, he's going for the heel. Let's see if he tries to do anything different. Nope. Oh, he's managing. I'm impressed with that. I would think you would need something on the left-hand side to sort of...
Yeah, you're absolutely right, James. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a shame.
Yeah, I feel like he could have read that a bit differently, but anyway, you know, heat of the moment, under time pressure. Right. Who do we have up next?
Representing France is Leo Avezu.
Leo Avezu will step out on men's 1 for his first boulder of the afternoon. Then we have Nicolo Salvatore back on the mats on men's 2. With both of those two climbers now on the right-hand side of your screen.
Leo making quick progress on boulder 1.
Yeah, Leo looking really quite comfortable on this. He's going to get the opportunity to eye up the last hold on his first go. Oh, wow. I'm not sure he's read that hold right. You know, there is a scoop there that he's gone for, and obviously, yeah, if you can apply enough force to that and enough control, you could hold it, I'm sure, but I feel like the clamping method with the hands,
yes,
you know,
yeah,
it seems to be that uses a more positive part of the hold to finish the boulder, and yeah, unfortunately, he's just not read that, but I mean,
yeah, every top we've seen of that boulder,
yeah,
hands to the left and right and a clamp, isn't it?
Yeah, but I mean, he's so comfortable on the start of that boulder, he's still got 2.5 minutes left. I'd fancy his chances. But let's take a look at men's 4 briefly there. We have Michael O'Neill on the extreme left. Nicolo managing to get up to the penultimate volume, and he has used the left toe. He's dropped down to use that volume to control himself and put the heel in. That was brilliant, you know. He's read it completely differently and completely well. Incredible volume in the stadium now for Nicolo Salvatore. Yeah, he read that beautifully. And now we're back with Julian Wimmer on men's 3. He looks like he's got this last move in the tank. And even managed to get a high right toe on the zone, and then wow, playing with his feet, you know, really using them to control himself for the finish of the boulder as well. Yeah, very intuitive climbing from that young man. Bravo. So we're left with climbers on the extreme left and the extreme right of the wall. And we're back on men's one with Leo. Let's see if he changes his methodology for the finish of the boulder. Again, looking fairly comfortable here. Oh no, that's really unfortunate, I have to say. Like, he did take it more to the right.
Yeah, he kind of did the opposite of what he did on the first job at the top, where he had his right hand in the dish.
Yeah.
That time he had his left hand in the dish.
Yeah.
But he needs to go for the double climb, doesn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. And he's just not left himself. He's only had, I think he only had 2 attempts there. 2 really good attempts, both with potential tops. And unfortunately, he's walking away not completely empty-handed. He's going to take his own. But then this replay of Nicolo. Yeah, impressive climbing from him.
And another Italian climber about to enter the arena, Pietro Vidi.
Pietro Vidi entering the stadium has been known to say that competitions are too easy. So,
is that right?
Yeah, on occasion. If you don't set it hard enough, it can't separate the athletes, apparently. So let's see if these boulders are hard enough for him.
That's a bold statement.
I know.
It's a very bold statement.
It's a very bold statement, yeah.
Still, he's a young man, obviously very confident in himself.
Yeah, I mean, you need confidence in these competitions, don't you? You need confidence on the wall, 100%. Now we're with Antoine on the right, David on the left. David climbing really well through this section.
I've seen some quick work on these 2 boulders.
A little bit uncertain of his feet here.
Okay, Antoine.
Yeah. Ooh. And again, wow. Yeah, okay, stable, good.
Yeah.
Little bit tentative, that. Now Pietro on men's one. He's up into the middle section of the boulder, moving across to the vertical crimp. Let's see how he chooses to take this top hold. Oh, he's read that, you know, as it's written. Light work of that boulder from Pietro. Does a lot of outdoor bouldering, Pietro, as well. Put up 8C in Valdone. Recently, Adam Ondra's come out to try his test pieces in that area. Yeah.
Okay, so Pietro's based in Arco as well.
He is, yeah. Trains at he will be training at the National Centre there. And previously been training in Milan.
As a climber, that's a bit of a dream venue to be.
Absolutely. Arco.
Yeah, to be located.
Yeah, absolutely.
Great home.
Antoine just taking a moment to chalk up here before he moves up. Yeah, I mean, that's a hot topic for me, carrying a chalk bag on this boulder in particular. I don't know what's gone on. Somebody said this hold is slippy. Nice. Oh, no, yeah, okay. So we're finding athletes who use that upper left foot, you know, to be in a bit of a, let's say, compacted body position, a bit too tight a space, really. And if you can, you seem to benefit from having your left foot lower on the zone, but it's obviously a hard one to read.
He's obviously not feeling something right there, because he did put, just prior to him using that hold, he did put his left foot on the zone hold, and then he bumped it up.
Okay.
So he's obviously feeling something isn't right there. Maybe he feels it would have enough height, or I'm not sure. Yeah, would have to ask him.
Yeah.
Only he knows. But to finish with a flying right heel onto the, to create the compression for that. That's ambitious.
Yeah.
I'll be very psyched if he can make that work.
Yeah.
But no, it's not going to work. He's walking off.
Just going to have a last go on men's 4 here for the German athlete. Flicks into the groove easily. Is he going to launch himself across the wall? No, he's called it quits. Just a replay of the top here from Davide Colombo. Oh, nice. Powerful climber.
Yeah.
Yeah.
those arms suggest powerful climber.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we have an athlete out on the mats from Bulgaria, Slav Kirov. Trying to make a bit of headway on this first boulder as the other athletes prepare to pull on. Got Nicolo back on the wall on men's 3. And he's a powerful climber. And honestly, he's going to make this work.
Wow.
Would you look at that? That was really cool. Oh, fantastic.
Wow, flash.
Yeah. That was a nice piece of climbing.
Yeah, that's probably the method the route setters intended.
Yeah.
Have we seen another athlete use the small scroll that right?
No, we've not seen anyone use that for the right foot. I personally haven't. And then he just put the Egyptian in, like the drop knee.
Yeah.
I mean, that right hand volume that he used for the drop knee is fading away. So it's an excellent piece of climbing to use his foot in that way on a volume that's not presenting itself in a positive manner to your foot.
Yeah,
and he made it work.
Yeah, and the screw hold out to the right, it's very positive.
Yeah.
It's a good foothold.
Yeah.
But yeah, it made it work really well.
So back on men's 4, Julian Wimmer. 2 tops under his belt, looking for number 3. He's really trying to use that thumb and forefinger to sort of force his weight into the corner whilst he adjusts his feet. So just a bit of a pause for all the athletes, just assessing what they're going to try next. Julian making his way round, really just not getting enough height with his body to suggest that he might hold that move.
It's good to see that the weather has held as well. There was forecast a bit of rain today, but it seems to have held off well.
Yep.
Patchy cloud, 56% humidity, 22 degrees.
Nice, great climbing, Connies. Light breeze.
Sure, like all climbers, you're a little bit obsessed with the weather, aren't you?
Absolutely, especially if you're a Brit. Good weather days, and not to be missed. So Slav looking pretty good in this position, but he's just
screwing out of time, isn't he?
Absolutely.
Oh no.
Yeah, applause for Slav. I'm just going to catch a glimpse of Nicolo's top there. So just stepping out onto the mats on men's 1, we have Girolamo Frangiliano. No, I'm butchering that pronunciation, excuse me. Frangenillo. (18 years of age). 169 centimeters tall. He's got some good stats here. Last competition was the IFSC Youth European Championships back in September. Back in September, like it was a long time ago. And he's managed to match feet on that volume really well. And that's not a stage of the boulder I thought I'd see him fall. I thought he would getting a little bit of a respite after the tricky start before he would set up for the top, but no, he was denied there by a slip. So we're just looking at the rankings at present. I mean, 4 tops from Emil. He looks super strong. Then we've got Quito from France and Julien Vermeer from Austria. Got 2 Italian athletes on the mat at present. Davide Colombo and Pietro Vidi, both just checking out the boulders. We just turn our attention to the Spanish athlete on men's 1. Excellent. There's something not working for him there. Meanwhile, Antoine tops men's 3. And then we're back to Pietro on men's 2. And this is an area of the boulder I would think he would dance through. He's gone for the zone with his left foot. And he's riding that right heel like his teammate Davide did. Let's see if he makes any adjustments. Trying to power out left whilst leaving that heel in. Yeah, no adjustments in that position. He's got 45 seconds left. Is he going to give it another go? Is it?
I think it'd be tough to make the top.
Yeah, it will, won't it? He's really going to have to race through this start.
Yeah, he's going to pull on, but 30 seconds. I don't think that'll be. No, he's calling it.
That's unfortunate. Yeah. Feel like just a small adjustment to the beta. And he might have had a top there, but David is out of time there as well as we close that section of the competition. I'm just going to watch French athlete close this boulder in replay. Nice, very stable. Okay, so another German athlete out on men's 1. Thorben Bloom. In the centre of your screens. We've got the Bulgarian athlete. Well, the stadium's really filled up to get behind these athletes. Thorben in that vertically upward sort of Gaston undercut, for want of a better way to describe it. Slav just struggling with that start. French athlete Leo looking good on men's 3, and then we revert our attention to Nicolo. Nicolo looking quite good on that, really, like creeping around the corner with some control, you know.
Yeah,
not seen that from many people.
Yeah, that was a good camera angle. We could really see the transition that the climbers have to make from one side of the wall to the other.
Nicolo pulling on again. Just not finding the balancing point in that groove.
Yeah, Keto earlier on, still the only athlete we saw to attempt the direct method.
Yeah,
that was great vision.
Yeah, I don't see anyone else reading that. I really don't. You know, it was. Yeah, it just shows how good it was to read. Well, how good it was. How impressive it was to read that sequence. Come on, Nicolo. Excellent. Maybe we'll get a chance at this moves around the corner as we zoom out and look at all of the athletes on the wall right now.
Yeah, the French athlete topping out on Boulder 3 there.
Oh, wow. Unfortunately rejected by a foot slip there on the upper blue volume.
Yeah, that was interesting watching Thorben on that boulder then. Perhaps one of the taller athletes. He looked a little bit more uncomfortable than I've seen previous competitors there.
Yeah. Slav finally making some progress on that boulder, but just out of time, really. We're going to welcome out our last competitor now. We qualified him first yesterday. Luca Martins from Great Britain. We had a brief chat with Luca yesterday. He's been training out of mostly Mile End in London. He's about to make a move to Sheffield for university. He said he was very surprised to qualify in first place, but he does like a crimp, and he feels like the qualification phase favoured him, so he's obviously managed to capitalise on that, and hence he's coming out last now. And we have Pietro Vidi on men's 3, managing to make that first dynamic move and place the heel.
There's quite a tricky dead point to that hole, isn't it, after those two slopers?
Yep.
It's blocked as well, so you have to be very accurate there.
Yeah. I watched the guys put that on the wall, and they made a conscious decision to block that because of that.
Okay.
So if you could, I watched Gabriele Moroni hold the position footless and campus into the zone hold with his right hand. So I think they felt like that was just a little bit too straightforward and wanted to add more of an element of difficulty or chance, let's say, by blocking the hold. So yeah, that's worked well. Yeah, you see that's just off the screen. Pietro's had another attempt in that style. But back with Antoine on men's 4. He has powered his way into that position, and he looks good on this toe hook. Again, we saw earlier athletes struggle, and he's worked it out, hasn't he? No use of the knee bar, but he still managed to change his feet.
Yeah, once you get your right hand onto the penultimate crimp,
yeah,
it's quite and cut is that hold, and I think you're pretty much home and dry once you get that hold.
Yeah. And then back with Pietro on men's 3. He's trying this method that wow, fantastic. That's the same way that his compatriot Nicolo managed to close the boulder, by placing that right toe.
He had a drop knee with his left, didn't he?
But Nicolo, yeah, he placed the drop knee, or the Egyptian, in the volume with his left foot, which gave him some more stability and allowed him to maintain the height whilst he moved his hands. So these are our last competitors out on the mats, out of the 24 semi-finalists. They'll each get 4 minutes on each of these boulders with which to close them if they can. Luca is back on the wall. He's struggling with the start of this men's 1 boulder. But Pietro's managed to catch the zone again. See if he tries the same method. He has. He's tried to go up with the right. In fact, that's him switching the method and going up with the right instead of the left. So even after the success of the previous attempt, unfortunately that change in method has cost him.
Luca Martins frustrated by that start at Boulder 1.
Is that no zone for Luca?
That's right, yeah. A really tough start, that Boulder 1.
That illustrates why they made that handhold the zone, even though it's like the third hold on the wall. Little tap of the temple here as he closed that boulder, as if, now I understand. Don't know who he was looking at. Maybe he was looking at the setters. So we must have Thorben from Germany out on men's 2 now. And we have Slav making progress on men's 3. I mean, straight into the zone, no problem. Crossing over the left and going again. I mean, far strong.
Yeah, looking very strong in this boulder. Well, no problem.
Ooh. Wow, full splits almost from Slav there, but decides to revert to the lower volumes to close it. Wow, that's a good flash.
Yeah,
a really good flash, especially when knowing Pietro is such a powerful climber. To see him struggle in the way he did on that boulder, and then to watch someone come out and flash it in that manner, that's impressive. Really impressive.
But there's a big difference between doing a hard boulder outside and completing one of these in 4 minutes.
No, absolutely.
It's very different.
That pressure element.
Yeah. You go outside, you've got all the time in the world to work a hard boulder.
Yeah, absolutely. Here it's all eyes on me. Yeah, I'm sure that plays a big factor. For some more than others, actually.
Yes, yeah. I think some people are going to thrive under the pressure and having a crowd watching.
Yeah, absolutely. Wow, we have some really dynamic climbing there on the right-hand side of the screen on men's 2. And in contrast, some really tenuous climbing out of that groove. Yeah, there's a young athlete here called Nicolo Satirana who's not climbing at this competition. He's actually training abroad. I watched him in the Italian Championships, and he seems to thrive in the competitions, you know, especially if they're going in his direction. I watched him on a boulder with a slide foot move, and he tried it 12 or 13 attempts before making the move. And, you know, with seconds to go, he crushed the top of the boulder after making that move on his 13th attempt or something. It was the tenacity was incredible, and yeah, the reaction afterwards was epic. Good to see. Nothing too dramatic so far in these semi-finals, I wouldn't say. Some excellent climbing, a really good set of boulders.
Yeah, absolute hats off to the route setters. I think I'm just looking at the men's score so far in the semi-final, and it's got the great split. And just everybody dropping different boulders, finding different moves hard.
So we've got Leo now creeping around. Wow, doing very well there. Almost too energetic out that corner, sort of, you know, jumping too far away from the wall. Excellent from Thorben. Managed to make that move stick. He's got 23 seconds left. And he has a left foot, which should serve him well.
It's gone high.
Beautifully dropped down.
Yeah, drop back down. That was great.
Nice.
Oh, well done.
Yeah, really good top there. Read that. I mean, you're in the same body position for almost the entire time, but you have to do several movements to stabilize yourself to close the boulder and match the top hold.
Yeah, and interesting, we were talking earlier about having the left foot down on the zone hold and that working, and maybe the high foot not working. Yeah, we've just seen perhaps the tallest athlete make that work. So, yeah, you never know.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, there was good instinctive climbing to drop that right hand down at the last moment. So he had a bit of compression, then easily put the right heel on.
Yeah, we've seen a couple of athletes make that work, and then we've seen a couple of athletes basically miss the hold as they try to drop down to use it. So it seems like an obvious thing to do, but it's not guaranteed that it's going to work. So we've just got some rankings on the stream. And we're looking at the top 8 of these competitors progressing to the finals. So we've got Davide Colombo from Italy in a precarious position at present, because we've got athletes on the mat scoring points, and he's in 8th position at present. So let's see what happens. Be great to see an Italian climber in the finals, just due to the response from the crowd. But we've got a Spanish athlete here closing men's 3 with ease, which I think will affect the rankings.
Yeah,
we'll look at that shortly.
We already have Nicola and Salvatore in 5th place.
That's great news. He climbed well. On the powerful boulders, he looked great.
Oh, well held there from Luca.
So Luca is taller. You know, it must be 185 or something. And yeah, let's see how he chooses to approach this. He's liking that heel.
Interesting.
It seems like an obvious way to rock up to that, but then yeah, it does leave you stranded a bit. Let's see.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to move left here. Okay, yeah.
Let's hope he adjusts something on his next attempt.
Yeah, plenty of time left.
In 45. We've got Pietro, far left, pulling on men's 4. And I thought he was going to dyno into those volumes. I mean, that's the kind of move that would suit him quite well. Let's see. Nice. Pietro Vidi in the groove. Trying to keep his center of gravity into the wall as he looks around the corner. Oh, good attempt, but not so close to holding it on that occasion. The Italian crowd really trying to get behind Pietro, will him up the wall with a minute and change left. Here he goes. not managing to find the tension in that corner sufficient to stay established on the wall. Just missing that hold. Come on, Pietro. And back with Luca. Taking the zone, riding a left heel to come across.
Yeah, on his previous attempt, he put the heel on initially and then slid it to a toe really nicely. But not.
Yeah, he's really pressed for time now, though. 21 seconds. He's going to have to.
I think that good attempt sapped his energy. I think it really took a lot out of him.
Oh, Pietro possibly with his best attempt there. He looked to get quite a lot of load through that next volume before he was denied. Good effort from both guys fighting till the end, but yeah, coming up short, unfortunately. Here he is. Yeah, last attempt there. Really fully committed. Feet out horizontal, but unfortunately not managing to hold the body position. So 2 athletes out onto the mats, men's 3 and men's 4. Just bunching up into the sort of frogged position with double heels there, but no worries. Just confident climbing from that athlete.
Okay, Slav, Boulder 4, quickly up to that position.
Yeah, that's Slav on 4, yeah. Absolutely.
Just straight out to the boulder and straight on. It's interesting the time it takes some of the athletes to get onto the boulder.
Yeah.
They had viewing time. Yeah, almost a minute had passed before the German competitors pulled on number 3.
This is a very confident effort from the word go. You know, look at that, adjusting that methodology on the fly.
Whoa, lost his foot there.
Yeah, he has.
Well,
he has got power to spare there. You know, that boulder is so within his abilities.
Yes,
that he could sort of play with the beater that he was going to use.
Yeah, there was a little mistake with his foot popping off, but it didn't matter, did it?
No. Yeah, you could control it. Back with Slav on men's 4. That was an excellent go. He got a lot more load through that, in more control than Pietro did, as an example, on his last attempt. So, for reference, with 2 minutes remaining, if he can get through that start consistently, you know, he's got a good couple of 3 opportunities there to top this boulder. Let's go, Slav, come on. Oh, just not finding that momentum into the wall. Nice. Really making an effort to get 2 hands well established on that first hold before popping out right.
Have we seen a climber stick that move dynamically? I don't recall. I remember Emil kind of really snuck around that side quite slowly in control. Obviously, Keto did the dyno method.
Now that was much more. Just as you predicted, yeah. Wow, with the toe hook in.
Ooh. Okay.
No knee bar.
Okay, here we go. Yeah.
Oh, that's deserved. Bravo, Slav. Nice work. Yeah, I'm chuffed for him there. That was really good. And just like you said, he just needed to do it a little bit more cautiously.
Yeah, I think previous athletes have maybe tried to jump a little bit too early.
Yeah.
And because you're body's coming away from the wall there. Yeah, there's too much momentum coming away, but Slav did a great job there.
Maybe we're going to see it again now. I'm so surprised that hold that he has with his left hand now that they can that he can hold that vertically downwards with a double pinch and still use the toe hook on the right and put enough force through the hold to come up to the high crimp.
He moved up easily.
Yeah, I know he moved his feet afterwards, but you know, in that situation, you know, considering to make that move without putting your foot left, it's a big ask for that toe to stay, and he did look comfortable in that position, but obviously you need to adjust your feet then to top the boulder. Yeah, great climbing there. And just on your screens there, I'd like to thank Appiano Distribution Studio for supplying lots of the materials for this competition, for the semi-finals and finals of the boulder competition. As our last athletes come out and brush men's 3 and men's 4 before they get started, reacquaint themselves with the boulders that they've seen during that observation period. You got any predictions for these 2 boulders, Martin?
Well, you said earlier, Luca enjoys the crimp. There's a mix. There are some crimps on this boulder.
Yeah. He's moved to that crimp.
Okay, so he's gone for the far right foot.
Well, both athletes doing really well on both these boulders. We could have a top in unison here, almost.
Oh, wow.
Luca pulling straight through.
No, but he does enjoy the crimp, doesn't he?
Absolutely.
Oh! No, that was unfortunate for Luca there. He was looking very strong there.
Unfortunate for both athletes. That was almost a bit of a crescendo. Plenty of time left though, so 2.5 minutes, just over 2.5 minutes left. They're both going to take a good pause here because I think both of them probably feel they've got the number of these boulders, and it's just a matter of another single good attempt. As we look back into the stadium, we have the Piazza della Festa in the background, an old piazza, and we are on a sort of wharf structure jutting out into the harbour of Genova, surrounded by water on 3 sides. Guillermo back on the wall. Oh, doesn't manage to make that stick. And he's swift to pick up the brush and prepare the boulder for another attempt.
Yeah, that's frustrating for him to fall lower down than his previous attempt.
Yeah, I mean, that's that crux. I mean, I really feel like that's the crux of the boulder. Luca just cleaned his shoes, ready to pull back on. He's been getting psyched up for this next attempt. Tapping the start hold with his finger just to get a legitimate start, and then he's out to the crimp. And now we switch to him as he powers up to the next crimp and straight into the 2 volumes. He's managed to find the last volume and make the match in good style. Yeah, excellent. He'll be pleased with that.
Yeah, was that second attempt for Luca?
Guillermo really deserves another good attempt, but we're running out of time. Just over 30 seconds. It's enough, but this move must be draining. He's tried a different method there. One that might actually work. Catching that first hold and kicking out to the arc line volume and stopping your momentum with the right foot. We've not seen anybody try that yet. And he's reverted to the old method. But yeah, just out of time now.
That's a shame.
Yeah, it is. It is.
After such a strong
start.
Yeah. Yeah.
Little replay of Luca on these Morpho volumes. Look at that. He just looks forward to getting the crimp, doesn't he? Nice.
Man after my own heart.
Yeah. British climbers not known for their pocket strength, I wouldn't say, but crimps are probably a forte. So we're left with German athlete Thorben on the mats on men's 4. We have quite a lot of sun making its way through the canopy above us, presumably brightening up the camera shots that you can see. Thorben straight into that groove. Hips right in against the wall. Cheek right against the wall. Brilliant.
Okay.
Brilliant climbing. He's read that really well.
Yeah, much slower, wasn't he, coming around?
Oh no, okay. So yeah, stuck with the toe hook and it didn't pay off. He realized he needed to switch to the left foot on the higher volume, but instead of dropping down and making the foot move before re-establishing himself on the high Gaston crimp with his right hand, he tried to do it in situ, and yeah, it just fell afoul of that.
Yeah, but perhaps his height helping a little bit there on that move.
Yeah, absolutely.
Allowing him to get further around the corner before committing to the double Gastons.
Absolutely, yeah.
Probably feeling confident he's going to make that section work again, though.
Yeah, absolutely. Really making use of, well, the body position to make sure that he's not doing any unnecessary work, really.
Yeah.
You know, putting his cheek on the wall almost. All of the load going through his feet effectively.
Yeah, Thorben has already secured himself a final place just by getting that zone hold on his first attempt, has pushing him up to 4th place.
Nice. And he's managed to hit that catch. Let's see if he gets as close to the wall again. Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah. We can see really well the change of angle in the wall from that camera shot on the left-hand side.
Yeah, that can really sort of play with your mind when that happens. You get through a section of a climb, first attempt, and you think, okay, I've got that section, I need to think about the next section. And you perhaps lose a little bit of concentration on the start.
Yep. No, I can imagine. Yeah, a little bit higher. Come on. Yeah, he's got it now. Hips in. Oh, I'm disappointed from there. 38 seconds left. Come on, Thorben. Let's have another good attempt.
So we've had a couple of athletes now. The Spanish athlete as well also made it through the start.
Yeah.
And again, must be thinking, okay, I've got this. I can get through that again, and then not making it through the start again.
Yeah, it just shows how often on that section of the climb is, doesn't it? You know, and it's obviously very powerful. So you know, if you've just drained some of your energy systems that bit more, you know, finding that particularly hard to repeat. We have the last athlete coming out now onto the mats. Luca. And Luca only has one top.
Yeah, he could really do with this boulder.
In 2 zones.
Yeah. No.
If he tops this.
And Luca didn't manage to get the zone on the first boulder.
No. But if he tops this, it would put him in the finals. If he doesn't, he won't be in it. Or at least that's the information I'm looking at right now. Guillermo from Spain sits in 8th position with 1 top and 4 zones.
Yeah, you're right.
If Luca steals the top here, then he'll make finals. Now, if this does favour tall athletes, then that move should favour him. But let's see. Seems to be consulting with somebody there. Maybe he's getting some information from the judge of this boulder. Obviously, the athletes have to start with 2 hands on a particular hold and 2 feet in a particular location. He's making sure he's doing that every time. I feel like this evening we're going to need our sunglasses in this premises. As Luca makes that first move again. Now he's going to try and get up into the groove. I mean, he could fall afoul of not trying to establish himself too high and creep round the corner because he is tall. But it does look like he would benefit from straightening that right leg, sort of sinking his hips into the wall and gaining that extra height that he's not gaining because he's already in a good body position to reach the hold.
Yes. As he's catching the right hand Gaston, he's way too low,
isn't he? He's too low, isn't he?
Yeah, much too low.
Okay, he's got a minute and change left on the clock. Let's see if he decides to change anything and sort of step right up into that corner, or if he stays low and that
was a bit better, a bit higher.
Yeah, a little bit more control coming around the corner there, but
time is running out though.
Yeah, time is getting thin. 35 seconds left. Come on, Luca. I want to turn my microphone off and cheer him on. Yeah, higher then, more dynamic, but 7 seconds left, and unfortunately, that is going to be the end of the competition for Luca, as it stands. Valiant effort. Fantastic men's semi-finals here in Genova. Congratulations to all involved, the route setters especially, who have a particularly tricky job of setting the boulders and deciding on the level of difficulty of the climbs, especially when it's maybe a more unknown field of climbers for them. So, yeah, great spread of results there. Difficult round. And 8 of these athletes will return this evening to compete in the finals on 4 more boulders of varying difficulty, and with another 4 minutes of allotted time period per boulder. So from me, James, and my co-host Martin, thank you very much for listening, and we hope you'll join us later for the women's finals and the men's finals eventually tonight. Cheers. Ciao.